Hey, I just got back from a long cycling weekend, crisscrossing the back roads of southern Tennessee. It's become a bit of an annual tradition with a great group of guys, bragging as much about our bike finesse as we do about our AARP card. This year we staged from a well-sorted lodge that sat beside a shimmering brook and edged by a forest canopy. What the scenery didn't fill up, the barbecue at the evening sure did. Man, what wasn't to love about that trip? I'm a bit embarrassed to say, well, we had our moments fussing about the poor cell service or intermittent internet, but it took a few rides. I think we all came, though, to an honest reflection. While we didn't have all the connections we wanted, in the end, we had all the connections we needed. Tempted by the accoutrements of a regal life, there's still wisdom to accept the good people that God has placed right there in front of us instead of pining away for maybe somebody that we might have missed. Pause and pivot around that truth. One of the New Testament letters, Colossians, describes well the ties that bind good people together. Listen to this from Colossians chapter 4. Paul describing one of his friends that he's going to send. He says, he's going to tell you the news about me. He's a dear brother, a faithful minister, a fellow servant in the Lord. I'm sending him to you for the express purpose that you may know about our circumstance, that he might encourage your hearts. He's coming with Onesimus, the faithful and dear brother who's one of you. They will tell you everything that has happened here. What are the ties that bind people together? Well, here, one of the first ties that I hear in that passage is that of awareness and intentionality in relationships. I want you to be informed about me. I want you to know my circumstances, he says. I want them to tell you everything that's happened here. These folks were intent to know each other and to be known. Connections kind of cut through the small talk of weekend golf scores and office platitudes. Whoa, let's kind of open our eyes to those kind of opportunities. Here's a second tie that I hear in that passage, and I don't know if you caught it. Listen, he said a faithful minister, a dear brother, a fellow servant. Of course, none of those came automatically, and yeah, they are time intensive and they're hard won. Some of you might think, well, I don't have the time for that, or I've been burned before by mistrust, and well, let me ask you a question. How's that working for you? How's that sound of silence feel? I acknowledge that distrust hurts, and it's a long daily effort to build mutual trust. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Here's a third observation about that passage. And it's what the author said about his purpose. He said, I'm sending these guys to encourage your hearts. Even the namesake of the one friend underscores his name even meant beneficial or profitable. Now, there's a friend for you. But here's the point. Connections get stronger when our cause goes deeper. Why aren't we more soul-directed, spirit-directed in our conversations? Oh, yeah, there's time for, who's going to order up the Uber or, what stock tips do you have? But, if that's all we settle with, then we missed out. Let's connect at a deeper level. Let's go below the surface and to seek for a kind of spiritual refreshment. Why don't we be those kind of connections? Why don't we seek out those kind of connections? If this has brought up some questions in your mind, hey, hit that contact coach button and let's talk some more.